Hi, my name's Rachel Webber. I'm here with Pete Hines and we're here to talk about Fallout 76. So Pete, could you first tell us what's the weirdest encounter you've personally had in the wasteland?
The weirdest thing that I've had happen so far is I just decided to head off in a direction that I hadn't been before playing through the game, and I came across a cabin that was up on this mountain hillside. I was sort of poking around and found some stuff, and there was a doghouse behind it, which I didn't pay a ton of mind to, but then like for whatever reason, I think maybe I was looking to see if there was like maybe something hidden inside, and I peeked inside, and the doghouse had these really complex mathematical formulas written on one of the walls to the doghouse, and then I looked inside further, and the back of the doghouse on the inside had a periodic table on it. And I just kept like, I looked at it, and then I like looked around like, am I seeing this right? Like what has been going on in this doghouse? And it was just, it's the sort of thing that I love about the games that Bethesda Game Studios makes, that you're really encouraged to look around in every nook and cranny, because you never know what kind of interesting little stories or scenarios that designers and artists have set up for you to find, where you feel like you found some cool, awesome little secret, even in an online game where you're playing with lots of other folks that only you've discovered.
What's the process for guys behind the scenes making those? Do they just kind of sneak them in? Is there like an ongoing list of like, okay, here's some stuff we want to put in?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is left up to the level designers in coming up with enough content for the world and deciding, you know, where they want to work with an artist to come up with something, you know, interesting or unique or different, that creates some of that sort of environmental storytelling. You know, coming across a hot tub that has a bunch of skulls in it and being like, okay, who was here and what in the hell were they doing? You know, nobody really comes up with a list. Like, okay, hot tub with skulls in it. Who's gonna do that one? It's more, you know, they're creative people, and you know, a lot of them have been with us for a while. They worked on Fallout 4 or Skyrim, and you know, they have cool and fun and wacky ideas for things that they want to do and bring to the game.
Let's talk about being a murderer. How did that idea come about? Because it seems like such a perfect way of managing that kind of slightly naughty behavior in the wasteland. Was that a process of different things, sure, or did one person have a lightning bolt?
No. It was a lot of trial and error. Went through a bunch of different iterations. You know, Todd and his team are big believers in great games are played and not made, which means don't spend a lot of time trying to write down on paper how it's going to work. Put it in the game. Let's all play it. Let's all see how it feels. And look, it's a role-playing game, so at the end of the day, like, you should be able to role-play a raider who preys on the innocent and kills other people. To be clear, murder is a very specific act, and one in which one person, let's say you, decides to attack me, and I don't engage back with you. I decide I don't want to engage in PvP and fight back, but you keep chasing after me and try to kill me, and you eventually do. We consider that a murder because it was entirely one-sided. And we wanted to come up with a system that punished players in a way that was appropriate and actually offered gameplay to everybody else. Look, it can be fun to be a murderer and to feel like, you know, the outlaw Josie Wales and running through the hills trying to escape where you know everybody else can see where you are and how you're going to survive.
So if I see you in the wasteland, are you more likely to be a murderer or a bounty hunter?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a total goody two-shoes. Yeah, I'm a Boy Scout at heart still, and so I tend to stick to myself. I never engage in aggressive behavior with somebody else. By the way, it's important to note that in the game, for folks like you or me who don't actively want to participate in PvP, that in the gameplay settings, there's a toggle called Pacifist. And if you turn Pacifist on, it means that you can't actually accidentally shoot another player and start PvP when you don't mean to, which can in fact happen, right? If you have a bunch of creatures you're fighting and somebody else comes in, like, well, you could accidentally hit them or throw a grenade that goes off and damages them. When you have the Pacifist mode on, it prevents you from starting PvP and is sort of telling everybody else in the game, look, I'm not here to fight against any of you. I just want to do my own thing. So if you come across me, I'm here to help.
What are some of the sort of best and worst behaviors you've seen?
One of the funny things was there was a group of people who were playing, and one of the group members came across somebody in another group and murdered them, but didn't realize that everybody else in their group is able to claim the bounty on them. So normally when you're in a group, there's no friendly fire. You can't damage other people. But that doesn't apply to murderers. Murderers basically, like, if you're going to be that kind of person, it's open season on you for everybody. And his teammates joined up and took him out and claimed the bounty. And he was like, wait, what happened? I thought we were on the same side. Like, well, you're a murderer and we wanted your bounty, so we claimed it ourselves.
Is there any features or mechanics that you guys toyed with that didn't make it in that you can tell me about, or any experiments that went a bit wrong?
You know, we have a lot of plans to make sure we're regularly updating the game with new stuff for folks to do, new events, new content, and also being responsive to what the community is asking for. You know, that's a big thing for us. In the past, when we've done DLC, you know, we might have ideas for a couple, but then, you know, some number of them have been informed by the kinds of things that people are saying that they want to be able to do in the game. You know, we've said that we definitely want to support the ability for folks to have a private server if they want to have their own version of the world, whether it's just for themselves or for themselves and friends, and to be able to run mods on those servers. And so, you know, it's going to be a while, you know, probably at least a year or more, but once that ability comes on, you know, I think that's a massive change where players can start to create their own customized versions of their own Fallout 76 world and what kind of rules and things they want to take place in that game. But yeah, we want this to be a game that changes and evolves and grows forever.